Yo guys, what is up? It is Derek here from VGAK Derek, and today we are talking about a story about the hottest teacher I have ever had in my life, and the disappointment in my face when what happened is about to happen. Now, this happened back when I was early high school, and this teacher was my social studies teacher, and everyone in the school was usually talking about her. I'll say she was Miss Miss Horn. I can't think of a name. Let's see, let me think of a name. Miss Tastes Good. Okay, so Miss TG, there you go. Miss TG was a social studies teacher at my school. I'm not gonna say what year this was because I want her to maybe like some way this fucking gets around to somebody and they know who it is, and I get in trouble and I get charged with fucking I don't know what is something. But she was my social studies teacher, and everyone in the school was always talking about her, how attractive she was. She had big, you know. And one day in my what happened, I'll say that at the end, but I had the reason I like this teacher so much, she was alright. She wasn't the nicest teacher. She wasn't a very good teacher. She was just attractive. And in our class, back in the day, we had overhead projectors. I don't know if you guys have them now or they still use them, but you had overhead projectors that would project something onto a wall, and they would write notes and you'd write down the notes. And the plug-in for the overhead projector was on an extension cord, and the extension cord was right in front of my desk. So what would usually happen was this teacher, whenever there was a time to do notes or anything, she would have to plug in the overhead. And she wore kind of low-cut shirts. Like, they weren't like turtleneck fucking shirts up to her eyeballs, and then you couldn't see anything. She wore kind of low-cut shirts, which I liked back then. And when she had to go do the overhead projector, she had to stand up, walk over in front of my desk, and bend right over right in front of my desk. And every time we would have to do notes, I would be the most excited. I'd be like, yeah, notes, I'm so excited. And when she had to plug that in, I'd just be like, that was fucking disgusting. I'm sorry I did that. But one day I wasn't very good at social studies. I never was really good at social studies whatsoever. So she asked me to if I wanted some extra help, or she's like, do you need any extra help? And she's like, okay, come back after class and we can talk about the help you need. And I was like, I'm gonna have sex with this fucking That's what was in my head. I know it wasn't actually gonna happen, but there was like a thought in the back of my mind, because maybe I watched too much porn back then or something. But I still have spit on my finger, which is fucking gross. Ugh. Okay. And so it was that day after school. I was like, oh my god. And I walked into her classroom to talk to her about, you know, whatever the fuck I had to talk to her about. And so I walk up to her, and she's like, oh, you can just go sit down at the desk and bring out your work. And so I sat down, I brought my work, and I was just waiting, and I was like, oh my god, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking was gonna happen. She's a teacher. If she did anything with a student, she would go to jail, and she would lose her job. So obviously, we weren't gonna do anything. Derek, you're so stupid. But of course, everyone can dream. But my thoughts on this teacher drastically changed when she came up to me. She put her elbows on the desk, went right in front of me, and she's like, so what can I help you with? And the stench from her breath smacked me in the face, and I was like, I almost passed out. It was terrible. Honestly, one of the most unattractive things ever is bad breath. And oh my god, it was bad. I still remember it to this day. It smelled like old Chinese food. She smacked me right in the face. I was just like, you know what? I was like, just this one question. And she helped me with a question. I got the fuck out of there. And to that day, I was never excited to take notes ever again, or for her to plug in the overhead projector. It was a sad, sad day. But of course, there were other teachers that I fucked a few times. I'm just kidding. That never, ever happened. That would never happen. No teacher would. I've seen it on the news of fucking stories about teachers having sex with their students. What happens is, if they're if it's illegal if you have a student for you to have any outside relationship with them. So if that ever happens, they have a risk of losing their job. And I'm pretty sure 99% of teachers would not fuck a student if they knew it was risking their job. But there are a few on the news and stuff that actually do it. One student and a teacher fucked a student and she got fired, and then after that guy was legal, they got married. Isn't that weird? I find that so weird. If you guys enjoyed this story about the hot teacher with the bad bleh, and I was like bleh, be sure to leave a comment down below, and also boom, kick that like button. And the most important thing you can do is, if you are new, that rhymed, is hit that subscribe button. Yeah! You're over my head, I'm out of my mind.